The next speaker is John Amagoalik from the Inuit Tapirisat of Canada. As you may know, the Inuit people have submitted to the federal government a land claim covering 750,000 square miles of the Northwest Territories. They've claimed it as their land. They are willing to share it with the people and the government of Canada. I think Mr. Amagoalik would like to tell us some of the details of that proposal.
It is an honor for me today to be standing on sacred Indian ground. I am here today to speak to you on behalf of my people, the Inuit, who live in Canada's north, and on behalf of Inuit Tapirisat of Canada, our national organization. Today I want to talk to you about our land, what it means to us, and about our land claims proposal recently presented to the Government of Canada. It is our proposal to share with Canadians our land and the resources it contains. This forum is especially appropriate place to talk of these things. It is a gathering of people from all over the world to talk about the problems of human habitation, the meaning of ownership, and the rights of people to determine the way they live. These are political and cultural concerns. Political in the sense of looking to the future, planning, making decisions, and cultural in the sense of flowing from historical and traditional roots. The Inuit land claims is a statement of our political and cultural objectives and the instrument we propose to ensure our survival and security as a unique group of people. For us, it is a place to start, to give Inuit a chance to deal with the problems being raised at this forum, and a chance to define our rights and roles in the emergence of a new North. Up until 10 years ago, the North was seen as a wasteland of ice and snow. Happy, smiling Eskimos, brave bush pilots who flew by the seats of their pants, and even more brave Mounties singing as they mushed across the tundras. The discovery of mineral wealth changed that vision of the North. It is now seen as a warehouse of energy and minerals. For us, it is slightly different. To us, the North is Nunavut, our land. To us, it is not a barren frontier waiting to be conquered, explored, and exploited. To us, it is a land which produced a people. It gave us a language. It gave us a culture. It is a part of us. We depended on it on its moods and whims for life or death. We lived with the land, moving from place to place, hunting, fishing, and adapting our lives to the environment, rather than trying to change the land to suit our ambitions. To us, the North is home. It is where we were born. It is where we will die. It is the land which belongs to our children who are not yet born. No one challenged us in our land. Visitors came, not to settle, but to trade for furs or hunt for the seal and the whale. They came to explore, with our help, the land we already knew so well. We had no need to divide the land, to build fences or pay lawyers to register our ownership on pieces of paper. It was our land because we occupied it and used it ever since time beyond the memory of man. Today we still depend on it. It remains the source of our traditional foods. Caribou, seal, fish are still very, very important to us. The need to go out on the land still drives us out of our settlements. But other things have changed. We travel in snow machines rather than dog teams, and live in prefabricated houses rather than igloos. The discovery of mineral wealth has brought with it new types of explorers and the notion that the North is a reserve of oil and gas ready to heat Canadian and American homes and fuel their Cadillacs and Buicks. The government of Canada decided, without asking us, that the land belonged to the Queen, who lived in a palace across the Atlantic Ocean. It brought in schools, hospitals, housing, and a way of life based on money. It exercised control through permits, licenses, and strange laws. All of the traditional rights the Inuit took for granted, rights associated with our way of life, were no longer clearly and firmly ours. Those Aboriginal rights became subject to negotiation, and their gradual erosion threatened the existence of our culture. We had two choices. One was to defend our rights through the courts. We were never conquered by war or given away our rights by treaties, the usual European methods for dealing with native rights. Backed by the Proclamation of 1763, which said that large areas of northern and Arctic Canada were to be protected for native people, we could have gone to court and perhaps won. But our land is too important to us to take a chance on a court which is not part of our culture and might not understand our ways. We know the land is ours, and that a threat to our land is a threat to our identity. These are not things to argue in court. So, instead we choose to sit down as reasonable people, to talk to the Government of Canada, to obtain an agreement which will guarantee and formalize Inuit rights, to make them clear and translate them into the language of the law. In effect, we have decided to join Confederation. Finally, and only on the condition that we'll be full and equal partners. First, we want title to at least 250,000 square miles. This is necessary to guarantee our control of the most important areas for preserving the wildlife and the environment. We will not own land for the sake of exploitation, but rather to conserve and support the animals and their habitat, which are essential to our way of life. And this land will be shared, not owned individually, but controlled by communities collectively in keeping with our traditions. We want a separate territory north of the tree line. This territory would not be exclusively Inuit, but would guarantee Inuit a more effective voice in government. We need time to develop a system which is sensitive to the needs of the North and the Inuit. We want a share of the revenues from the resource development. We are giving Canada ownership of almost 700,000 square miles through our proposal. In return, we expect to benefit from oil, gas, and mineral production on that land. We will use the money to improve the opportunities available to Inuit to reduce our dependence on government handouts. We want programs to guarantee our hunting and fishing rights to make sure the traditional way of life remains available. We want special programs to protect the ecology and others to upgrade those living conditions which are inadequate by any standards. Our land claim will soon be negotiated with the federal government, but we will be negotiating ownership as Inuit understand ownership. We will be negotiating our partnership with Canada in maintaining the life of the North. In the past, decisions have been made about the North by those sitting in their glass towers in Ottawa and who has never seen an Inuk or who has never been north of the 60th parallel. This can no longer continue. We will no longer tolerate being administered. The time has come for us to govern ourselves in our own land. Thank you.